Welcome in, Aquarius, and good morning from me and my sweet pea, who's just barely getting her ass out of bed, as we can see here. I've been up, showered, shaved, and did all the important stuff. The only thing I kept on was my comfy pajamas on the bottom. I put a nice top on for the few that come in here and watch me. Anyways, Aquarius, we are using oracle cards for your reading today. Okay. We are going to reach into my handy dandy little my ruins, my amethyst ruins. Yes, we are. If I can find that little piece of paper. What did I do with it? I want to do it. Okay, listen. I will look it up because I really don't know these by heart, so I can't. Anyways, I'm a little unorganized this morning. I'm trying to get y'all done so I can. It's bad enough I might have to skip a whole week on TikTok, but that's okay. I got my little magic scrying mirror. Yeah. This is black obsidian. I know. I really don't want to close that, see? See, can you see me? Can you see me now? Okay. Good morning. I love that. I have it on like a little plate thing. And I have my morning coffee with my cup from Maryland. I want to go back this year. Today my coffee has Reese's in it. I'm trying something new. No other sugar added, just that. Okay. We might have to pull it over a little. Sorry, Aquarius. I have to not have that mask in my face. See, I'm not really sure which way to go. This way. Okay. We might have to do it. As much as I like the sunshine behind me, it's not working for me today. And instead of turning on the overhead light, I think I'll just turn on the light next to me. So let's see if that works better. So you can still see that it's daylight. It's beautiful out today. I haven't been outside yet. But there. That's a little better. It's not as blinding as the overhead light. We have to figure that one out too, but we're still going to do the ruins. All right, Aquarius. All of my readings are free, timeless, and for entertainment purposes only. I played the lucky lottery. Did all my things last night, so it'll win tonight. Yeah! When we win, this is what we're paying for. All my debts, including my retirement loans, and my son's house, and whatever the hell it is my daughter wants. I don't care, I'll figure it out. Take care of business, get accounts for my grandbabies, and other people, obviously, that I love dearly, that I'm close to. And ASPCA is for my animal love, and St. Jude's Hospital. It's one of my biggest things that I want to donate to. All right, we got 3 in my hand here, Aquarius, 3 in my hand. And they are amethysts. Okay. And I did find my little thing, so. All right. This starts your reading. The first ruin looks like that. And that is called, if I can say it, Ansuz. A-N-S-U-Z. A-N-S-U-Z. I can't pronounce it. I'll figure them all out. This is new. So representing the mouth, usually meaning to gain wisdom. So this is representing the mouth to gain wisdom. Okay. And the next one up is, wow, the M. Looks like an M, right? The Ehwaz. E-H-W-A-Z. Ehwaz. Okay. So we're gaining wisdom with the first one, and represents migration and travel, especially on land. So that talks about land and traveling. Alrighty, that's a beautiful thing. Travel. Alright. And this last one looks like a P. The last one looks like a P called One Joe. WUNJO. Of course, it looks backwards to you, and I'm sorry. But it is One Joe, meaning joy. It always means joy and happiness to come. So, we're talking about joy and happiness to come. Representing the mouth, usually meaning to gain wisdom. So we're gaining wisdom. We're talking about migration and travel on land and happiness. All right. That's what your reading starts with. And now we're going to pick the deck. All right. And this I have to read too. It's a new deck, but it's okay. We got time on YouTube to take as long as I want. The Pocket Archetypes, the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetype Oracle Cards. Okay, by Kim Kranz. And this is a really new deck. I've shuffled it a lot already. And I really like this deck. It's different. It's definitely different. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Not as organized as I usually am this morning, but it's okay. We're going to shuffle them up right here with you on the screen. And mine is usually 333. Okay, that's how I shuffle. It's either 333 or 577, something like that. Oh no, that's usually 755. Okay. We like the 333. We build teamwork. And then it's 3 and 3. Oh, and we've already got a shitload of cards here. 2 is the only ones we're taking. All right. We didn't even get to 4. All right. I'll show you those in a minute. We want to do all 3 shuffles here. 3, 3. And we wanted one more card because that would be 3, right? 3, 3, 3. Shuffle, shuffle. 3 times each. And then 3 cards. So the universe needs to help me with one more. Well, there we go. Card. All right. And that's all we're taking from this deck. All right. 3, 3, 3 for you, Aquarius. We already know we got travel and happiness. Okay. So the first card out is the desert. Okay. We're going to look it up, of course, because these are new cards. And I haven't played with them enough to learn them. All right. So that's 10, 20, 35, 6, 7. Number 37, according to that. It's in Roman numerals, so I have to remember how to read them. But there's the desert. All right, so let's look up the desert for you. All right. I have to look it up. And I probably need that big light over my head because I'm blind and it's dark. Oh, this has places, so it can't be that hard to find. Yeah. The desert is at page 180. And I'm not going to be able to read this if I don't turn on that big light over my head. Sorry, guys. I prefer the natural light. So what I have to do is reset my room. So I don't have that window behind me. And I'm going to do that pretty soon. Maybe this week. I usually try to get help because I can't move things but as easily as I used to. Alright, here we go. The desert. So when light, surreal, unexpected visitors. Silence. Strange. Oh, strange, unexpected visitors. You got some strange visitors coming. When dark, drying. Wow, I can't read that shit. Deadening, distracting, isolating. Okay. Well, that's what the desert is, so I guess it could go either way depending on the reading, right? Go deeper. Frank Herbert Dune. Barry Lapes. Desert Mates. I don't know who the hell those people are. When in the throes of the desert, contemplate the following. You are not alone and have more supplies with you than you think. Water is very near. Okay. The desert is alive and pulsing with energy. Despite its desolate appearance, turn toward it rather than away from it. Okay. The drought, the wastelands, the badlands, as they call it. Okay. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity, existential dread. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright, and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity, clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes call around you, surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. Okay, that's your first card, so maybe that's where you're starting? Metaphorically, though. I think this is more about how you're feeling about your current situation. Almost like a boredom, not necessarily dread. As the card talks about dread, I don't feel dread, I feel bored. I mean, you love what you do and what you're creating and where you're at, but like it's not going fast enough. Like you're not where you thought you would be at this point, but take it as a learning lesson, okay? It doesn't mean you won't get there. It means that there's something you need to pick up on and learn along the way of this journey. All right, because we talked about the travel and happiness. Yes, we did. Remember that in your ruins. So this isn't a bad card. This is you getting taught a lesson. A lesson that you haven't learned. Or a lesson that's new and needs to be learned. Okay, it doesn't have to be a repeat. I don't feel like this is a repeat, but a drought in the sense that you are feeling lack of something. Whether it's knowledge, or training, or people to teach. Just go with it for now. Just see what's in front of you and take it as a lesson, and don't see it in a negative way. See it as a reason to keep pushing forward. Okay? So the next card is 35, the ocean. Right? I love the ocean. I want to go to Maryland again so bad. Be a nice family trip. Ocean City, Maryland. It's only 6 hours. I'm not sure what it is from here, but might be another hour. But I think it's well worth the drive, even in the areas that I hate driving in. Maybe do it at night. So when you get there, it's day ride. The sunset is beautiful there, but the sunrise is even more beautiful in Ocean City. I love it there. I can't live there. It's surrounded by water, and I have this fear of drowning. I can't live there, but I can definitely spend some time there. Maybe next year in the spring. Let's see what the ocean has for you, though. All right? I mean, we had the desert, right? So now it would only seem right that you'd have the ocean. I think it's important that you go from one extreme to the next, right? Whoa. Okay, listen. Must be backwards. Because we had the river. There we are, the ocean. Okay. So this is, the ocean displays every emotion without shame. Because remember, water represents us as humans and emotions, okay? Without shame, to witness its glassy moonlit surface and its unforgiving storms is to know the full spectrum of the human experience. The ocean displays every emotion without shame. To witness its glassy moonlit surface and its unforgiving storms is to know the full spectrum of the human experience. Study waves, touch their surface, get in the water, and no matter where you live, each drop is part of the whole the ocean is in every tear. All right. Deeper than deep, big dreams, discovery. Subsumed, drowned, polluted, unpredictable. That's the dark side. Go deeper. Shakespeare's The Tempest. The Raft. Oh, the Raft. R-A-F-T is what it says. Of Medusa. Okay. So, the unconscious, the depths, and the incomprehensible. The power of the ocean is unmatched. To step into its salty waters is to step into the unknown. By its sheer volume, the ocean represents the unconscious, all that is beyond our understanding. We cannot live within the ocean. We cannot claim it, manage it, or own it. It rejects our every attempt to dominate nature, yet amid its overwhelming power, it calls to us, inspires us, and invigorates our life on land. It dissolves the little us into the big us. When the energy of the ocean is present, there is change stirring that is beyond any change you've known before. The ego must dissolve, the saline swells, work on your very cells, your fibers, your deepest underlying beliefs. Like Aphrodite, we rise, the ocean's froth, a new being. Like life is change, let the wave crash. So there's some changes coming to your life, Aquarius, which travel could be very much part of that, according to your runes that I read. And happiness is in there, remember that. So you must go through the depths of darkness to come out to the other side of the emotion in the water. So some grief, maybe you've already felt or lost or have decided to walk away from something, but you are going to swell up again in the way that the ocean does and bring yourself back to life, because that's who you are. And this can be metaphorically, not physically. So understand that the water represents us in so many different ways, whether it's the ocean or a sea or a lake, it doesn't matter. There's just so much going on in our lives every day that we must also take on the challenge of the desert to move forward, okay? And then we have the bridge. What a perfect card to come after the desert and the ocean, right? The bridge. That is number 38. So we have 37, which is 10, and 1, which is new beginnings. That's what the desert talks about. And we have 35, which is 8. And a lot of times, 8 talks about walking away. Okay. And now we have 38, which is 11, which is success and abundance and creating a new life. Now let me read the book. Okay. I want you to know that this is... The bridge is a tool that we use to cross from one place to another. I haven't found the page yet, but I want you to understand that this is just a path you are following and confirmed the runes that came out to begin with, okay? And I don't want you to be afraid of it, because this is part of life. No matter what happens or what's going on in the world that you live and choose to move or walk away from or start over again. You've learned lessons. You've learned the landscape. You know what it's like to be here. And it's helped you to come to some mighty decisions in your situation, representing gaining wisdom. Okay? That's the first rune you had, and this card represents your gaining wisdom. and your teachings and your learnings and things that you will be able to show others and teach to others. The ocean for you is new beginnings, okay? We are talking about moving forward, right? And walking away from something that's not for your highest good. Am I boring the dog? Jeez. So now with the bridge, we're bringing it together, right? We're bringing it together. You're learning and you're growing, and now you're moving forward, right? Let's see. Number 182. Okay. Let's get that bridge in there, and then we'll pull a couple of other oracle cards for you before we move on. Yes, I know your reading is usually longer than most, but Aquarius, this is an important reading, okay? And a lot of the readings that I'm doing is talking about the different signs, but as a collective, I feel we are all going to be making different decisions and choosing different choices and moving forward, walking away from what we've known. It could also be about the fact that you've done that so many times already, Aquarius, for different reasons, metaphorically, as well as for real, okay? So the bridge, the connection, the link, the gate, right? Okay? And then we have imagine building a bridge, then imagine building a wall. Which energy is needed for the situation at hand? Which image softens and heals the heart? That's what we're talking about, right? Getting healed. Building, starting new, believing in ourselves enough. Bridges are built to connect two worlds. They create flow, allowing us to travel between realms, ideologies, personalities. The archetype is a gesture of acceptance, of saying yes rather than withdrawing, separating and saying no. Right? So let's not say no. Let's enjoy this opportunity to learn more, to grow more, to do more. When we cross a bridge to an unknown land, we are led magically into a new reality. And when we open up to otherness, healing and communication are made possible. We enter a state of curiosity, wonder, and learning. The shaman, for example, creates the bridge between everyday world and the sacred. This card asks us to study connections between the seemingly disconnected parts of our relationship, ideologies, or histories. Remember that a bridge can't be forced. It must be made with love, or its structure will not withstand the inevitable weather of life. Okay? So when light, acceptance, magic, communication. When you're feeling dark, lacking boundaries, and forcing connections. So know that no matter what you try to do, there will not be a connection made to the situation that will make it better. This one may be meaning that you have to walk away again if you've done it more than once. But that doesn't mean you don't keep trying. What you're doing is meant to be successful. It's part of your divine purpose, but there's more to it. And maybe your location, maybe in your mind or in your physicality, it's a toxic situation that's not meant for you to stick there. That there's a better place for you to be to do what you're doing your dreams. Okay? I don't know. I like the ocean, but it can be furious and it can cause a lot of damage. So you got to remember there's a balance that you need to find. I mean, we could live in the desert too, right? But if we aren't prepared for the dryness and don't have a balance or the link, right? The link between the two, we won't make it. So what you need, Aquarius, is to find that balance and decide whether you need to walk away or change the situation altogether. So that could be a change in many different situations. It could be a move. It could be a metaphorical move. It could be a mindset. It could be a limiting belief. Okay? You need to understand what it is that's holding you back and correct that. And your runes are saying representing the mouth, usually meaning to gain wisdom, right? That is your first rune. So you need to gain some wisdom in this situation, right? And then your M is representing migration and travel, right? So we talked about that with your second card, walking away from something. And this is all about happiness, right? So you're trying, oh, sorry, damn lights. That's why I hate them lights over top of my head. All right, but it looks like a P when you look at it, I think. There's no other stone that represents that here, so. But that's about happiness. One Joe, meaning joy. It always means joy and happiness to come. So whatever decision you are about to make, it is the right decision for you, and it is going to bring happiness. So that's why we have the desert, right? And the ocean, and you see how that all got connected, right? And now the bridge. So you are creating the bridge to success between the ocean and the desert. Okay? So those cards are beautiful, and those ruins really told the message there, okay? Now let's pull one or two more cards just for confirmation purposes, okay? Of a different deck, because I know that feels... How about we pull the life purpose? We'll see what the life purpose is really talking about here, okay? It's the life purpose deck. We're not going to be here too much longer. I know it's almost 30 minutes long, so we're going to try to nuzzle this down a little bit. But let's see, okay, what the cards are saying your life purpose is about. And that might help you figure out where you need to be. And not just you, your whole situation that's going on there for you, okay? Physically or metaphorically. Could be in your mind. So you have to make some decisions about what it is you really want to do and what you need to change to make it happen. And Aquarius, you're the one with that air. You need the facts, you need the justice, you need the blueprint, the T's crossed, the I's dotted. That's just who you are, okay? The air signs, as I am, it's all about justice, right? So we need to create it for ourselves, create it for our situation and our family and our home world, and we also need to create it for our future, right? So let's see what your life purpose cards come up, and we'll make it. This is a very interesting reading. It's a little deeper than you're normally used to with me, but I feel like, Aquarius, you needed that connection today, because I feel like what you're going through is more of a mental state, a limiting belief, or your ego. As I talk about a lot, ego's in the way, right? You have two cards that came up. School. The answer that you're seeking involves going to school. Now, we can all, I have a degree, but if I feel the need to learn something, and I do, there's some things I want to learn. I'm not necessarily going to take a whole nother degree program, but I'm definitely taking some courses, probably online for me, okay? But the answer you're seeking involves going to school and books. You connect to your life purpose through involvement with books, okay? Yes, the Aquarius I know is definitely loving her books. Oh my goodness, way too many. Okay, the one card that turned over here, counseling. Counseling. You heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathic ear. Look, Aquarius, how many people can you help doing that, right? The thing with counseling is to remember that you're giving people choices and options and not just your way or the highway, right? So you have to know those options, which could involve, what you might go to school for, what courses you might want to take to brush up on certain skills. Let's see if anything else comes up. And yeah, I have that knack in the background to help other people. My mother-in-law used to tell me that I always had a different, unique perspective, and I should be writing books because I express myself so much clearer in words. And those are the things. I really do want to write a book. I just have no idea where to start. I really don't. But Aquarius, let's see if anything else comes out for school, books, and counseling. So this is what they're talking about with your life purpose so far. All right. I want to be an animal whisperer. To do that, you have to not be afraid of them. And there are some big ones that I'm afraid of. Strength. Everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. Okay? So you've already built up that level inside of you that's ready for anything. That's ready to grow, to build, and to help others as part of your divine purpose. Energy healing. Something I do is Reiki. There's different forms. There's different ways. Your natural energy healing abilities are important part of your life purpose, and you are on the right path. That's the last card. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Okay, Aquarius? That's what I got for you today, and I hope this helped you so much. It's a different format that I followed for you, and using my runes. Let me know how that went for you and if you resonated with it. Remember, all my readings are free, timeless, and for entertainment purposes only. In my description box is my emails that you can request services and gift certificates that I provide, as well as donation information if you'd like to donate. Friends and family on Venmo and Cash App. And I thank you for spending your time with me today. Have a great day.